Today we will be reviewing division. The student will find the quotient and remainder of a division problem with a 2-digit divisor and a 4-digit dividend. Please make sure you copy down this SBI on a clean page in your math notebook. Estimation can help you divide greater numbers. So we're going to divide 31 into 4,716. Where will you place the first digit of the quotient? Since 31 is less than 47, the first digit goes in the hundreds place. It's really important in division to keep the numbers lined up by their places. Then we look at the first 2 digits of the dividend, the number that's inside the house there. Guess how many times 31 will go into 47? Since 3 will only divide into 4 one time, try 1. So if we look over on the right, we know that 31 goes into 47 one time. So they've placed a 1 above the 7, and then they've subtracted 31 from the 47. They got it 16 as the answer. Next, they're going to bring down the next number in the 4,716, which is the 1. Now we're trying to divide 31 into 161. And so we need to guess how many times 31 will go into 161. And 16 divided by 3 is about 5, so we're going to try 5 times. And by using estimating, it helps you prevent having to do a lot of multiplying to find the closest number. So we're going to multiply 31 by 5, which gets us 155. And we know that's as close as we can get without going over 161. So we're going to put the 5 up above the 1 in the 4,716. And then we're going to subtract. So we have 161 minus 155, and we get a remainder of 6. Now we're going to bring down the final digit in the number, which gets us 66. Now we have to guess how many times 31 will go into 66. We know 6 divided by 3 is 2, so we're going to try 2 times. And 31 times 2 is 62. So we're going to put a 2 over the 6 in the 4,016. And then we're going to subtract 62 from 66, which gives us 4. And we're going to end up with 152 remainder 4. In this case, we're not going to continue on and make it into a decimal. We're just going to stop with the whole number and the remainder. Next, we're going to divide. We're going to follow the steps above. And if you run out of space on this piece of paper, you can always use the extra page in your math notebook. So first, we're going to look at 23. It's dividing into 744. 23 is our divisor and 744 is our dividend. We know 23 cannot divide into 7, so now we need to look at the 74. We know that 23 is close to 20 and 3 times 20 is 60, so it's probably going to go in 3 times. So we're going to try that as our first multiplication. So 3 times 3 is 9, and then 3 times 2 is 6. So we get 69. And we know that's as close as we can get without going over 74. So we know 23 goes into 74 3 times. So we're going to put the 3 right above the 4 that's in the middle of the number. Next, we're going to subtract 69 from 74. Which gets us 5. Next, we're going to bring down that remaining 4 so we can divide 23 into 54. And then, looking at that, we already know that 23 times 3 is 69, so we know that's too big. So we're going to try 23 times 2. Which gets us 46. And this is why it's important not to erase your work, because by doing that, we didn't have to check again to see if 69 was too big. We knew it right there, so we knew it couldn't go into 744 3 times. So now we're going to put the 2 over the remaining 4 and subtract again. That gets us a remainder of 8, so our answer is 32 remainder 8. And we abbreviate remainder just by a capital R. So we make sure that our answer has the whole number, the remainder, and then the number that the remainder is. Right, for number 2, we have 42 as our divisor and 4,756 as our dividend. We know 42 can't go into 4, so we look at 47. We know 42 will go into 47 one time. So we're going to put the 1 over the 7 and then subtract the 42. That leaves us with 5. So now we're going to take the 5 that's up in the 4,756 and bring that down so we have 55. Now we know 42 is only going to go into 55 once, so we're going to put a 1 above the 5 and then subtract 42. Next, we're going to bring the 6 down, so we have 136. Now this is where our estimating can be helpful. If we look at 42, we know it's about 40, and if we multiply 40 by 3, we get 120, which is pretty close to 136. So we're going to try 42 times 3 to see how close we can get with that. So we get 126, so we know it's going to go in 3 times. So we're going to put the 3 above the 6 in the dividend. And then we're going to subtract the 126. So we get a remainder of 10. You know you've done your division correctly if your remainder is smaller than your divisor. So we should have 113 remainder 10 as our quotient or our answer. Next, we're going to divide 38 into 4,196. We know 38 can't go into 4, but we know it can go into 41 once. So we're going to put the 1 above the 1 and then subtract 38. Next, we're going to bring down the 9, so we get 39. And we know 38 goes into 39 once, so again, we're going to put a 1 up in the quotient, and we're going to subtract 38. Next, we're going to bring down the 6. And 38 cannot go into 16. So what we need to do is above the 6 in the quotient, we need to put a 0. And then we have a remainder of 16. So our answer is 110, remainder 16. Please make sure you have all the work copied down and then glue this page in your math notebook.